If you have a master processing account, you're allowed to process transactions on behalf of other merchant accounts. A good example of this would be a medical biller who needs to have access to 15 medical offices for which they receive payment. Each medical office is a separate entity with their own merchant ID number and a separate gateway account number. This situation is perfect for the master processing account, which with one login you can select the account you want to process transactions for from one transaction to the next. It's important that you remember that if you're in need of a master processing account, you'll need authorization from each of the sub-accounts that you need to be linked to. And you can do that by sending them this form, available when you first sign into your master processing account. What we'll do here is process a couple of transactions as if we're that medical biller. We'll receive a payment for one business and then another payment for a separate merchant. From the customer drop-down menu, select Online Terminal and then click Go. You'll now be presented with a drop-down list of businesses that are linked to this master account. Select the drop-down menu and then the business for which you want to process this transaction. This will bring you now to the online terminal, and to process a sale, it's the same process as with any regular account, but notice that the sub-merchant is listed at the top for identification purposes. We'll go ahead and process a quick sale here. We're not going to go into the details of processing a transaction on this video, but feel free to look at the videos that cover how to process a sale with the online terminal in more detail. Once we obtain the approval for this transaction, again notice that we have displayed the sub-merchant for which you process this sale. You can click on Process Another Transaction. This brings you back to the first screen we looked at, where you select the merchant or business you want to process this second transaction for. We'll go ahead and select this account now, a different one, and also process a transaction here in this case. As you can see, each account preserves their setup profiles. For example, if the first account we process the transaction for allows for check processing, that option will be available here. But if the second merchant did not opt to have the same service and have others instead, they will be available when you go through the process of accepting a payment. Once you're done, these transactions will be available in the respective reports for each of these accounts and be kept completely separate.